All right, so this was a request. I'm not going to sing it in the original key because I don't want to get up that high. So here we go.
Already there.
Yeah, already there. I meant vocally because I would struggle once I got to the chorus. So. I've been meaning to tell you I'm coming to the farm tonight, 'cause I look at you and I fantasize you're mine tonight. Now I've got you in my sights with these Gretchen eyes.
What?
One look at you and I can't disguise. I got Gretchen eyes. I feel the magic between you and I.
Bye.
Okay.
Well done. That was your best one yet, bud.
I thought it was, yeah.
Without question, your best one yet.
You took some liberties there with the lyrics, though.
A little bit, yeah. I usually do.
I thought it was good because it came out of nowhere.
I wasn't expecting that. I mean, we were all anticipating
Something,
but not that.
So I was just trying to think, okay, how can I get Rambo Cash in there? I was like, I can't really. So, there's the song is Hungry Eyes. So let's just see what we can do here. Let's say, yeah, Gretchen's Eyes. Yeah, okay, let's go to the farm. Yeah, and then I didn't have
who sings that?
Eric Cartman.
Okay,
Eric Cartman.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Yeah.
Huh. You kidding me?
One hit wonders.
Yeah.
Good evening,
that was a
gentlemen.
request a few weeks back, and I finally got around to doing it. I tried to sing it in the original key, but as soon as I got to, I not get you and I can't. I was like, I'm not belting that out. So I was like,
you should have had Jay do it for you. He's pretty good at those high pitched things.
Oh, I could have done it. I'm not. Gonna
Expensive.
So Jake can hit those high pitches, but I don't know if he's good at it.
I didn't say
per se.
Whoa! I never said good. I just said he can hit him.
All right,
Jack, I like your background here tonight. You're sporting something new. Haven't seen that.
Well, I have the green screen up, and I was going to do something. And I was still remodeling.
Kind of looks
bathroom
spooky.
and ran out
It
of time.
looks Halloweenish.
It's Nora and Kevin from The Leftovers.
Yeah, but it looks like there's a full moon behind their heads.
That could be.
And like he's.
This is what I had up the other night, and I was going to do something to make fun of you, and I just didn't have time.
Thanks, I appreciate it. I
not make fun of you, but give your.
I recognize your laziness.
No, that's exactly what you meant, Jack.
It's going to be special for your birthday, and I'm mad.
That I was really just kind of hoping that you guys would just take over.
Oh shit! Is it really your birthday?
Just tomorrow.
Oh,
you can wish him happy birthday
Thanks.
on Facebook tomorrow.
I don't even have it listed as my birthday.
Oh, really?
So nobody's going to know that.
So you're like Chris.
So Chris Kolk actually in Facebook messaged me saying it's 5 a.m. on a Sunday. Are you really on Facebook right now? And I definitely wasn't. Does it just show if you're like active or online? Is that what it does? If you're on the Messenger app? Because
he probably just has like a green thing. He says, "Oh yeah, Chris is active now."
Oh yeah, that was definitely fast asleep.
You might have checked a message and just left it on or something. I don't know how it works.
Maybe
I don't know.
That could have been the whole thing that brought Facebook down. So
yeah, true.
It started with that.
I know people were losing it.
I didn't even notice.
I didn't know Instagram, and I got 2 grandkids. I can't. I don't know.
You don't have time to fuck around with that.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you just found out.
Yeah.
So this past weekend, I actually had I had tickets to go see a concert up in Portland, Maine. But unfortunately, the band Dispatch, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Dispatch or not, but they canceled their tour, which kind of sucks.
COVID.
But I had a hotel room, and I
So you
had
still
a
went?
babysitter, so we still
Yeah.
went.
Nice.
And on the way up there, so it was my wife and I and another couple, friends of ours. Originally, we were supposed to go to the concert, the four of us. We got a hotel room. So I booked the hotel room back in like July, I think.
So with Bob, Ted, Carol, and Alice.
Huh?
That's a movie.
Oh.
Before your time.
Most of your life was before my time, but
Is that the Alan Alda movie? Is that what?
No. That was.
So, anyways, you fuckers. So we went up there, and on the way up, we actually found out that there was a Grateful Dead cover band playing in Portland on Friday night or Saturday night. So we kind of just on a whim got tickets to go see this Grateful Dead cover band, where they required COVID vaccine cards to get into the place, and it was a blast. We had a lot of fun. Got to go to all the places I wanted Nick to go to that he didn't listen, and had some great beers.
Choice.
It's great food. I know, I'm like busting your balls, but it was a nice little weekend.
Oh, that's cute when you bust his balls.
Do you see the guy, the ex-basketball player that got arrested in Hawaii for a fake COVID card?
No shit, really.
His first name is Lazy.
What?
Nice.
No way.
I swear to God, that's what he goes by, Lazy something.
I swear sometimes we're just living in a simulation and like it's getting lazy itself.
Yeah.
So,
So a guy named Lazy
uh-huh.
had a fake card.
I want to get back
Very
to
apropos.
I want to get back to Chris's story because he told his one story and then he's done for the night. So I wanted to know more about. You even admitted to this one time. You're like, "Yep, I just get in, then just get out."
Matt, again, I'm going to remind you. I'm the one of the three that you're, recording with that usually goes easy and or backs you up. But at 7 minutes and fucking 14 seconds into the show,
Just begging for it.
you're fucking asking for it.
Let's be honest, Chris. You're hoping someone starts banging on him so you can jump in.
No, that's inaccurate. That's inaccurate.
I just wanted to know more about this Portland trip. Did you get
know what?
lucky?
Fuck off. You're toast.
Did they
guys
play
see this
Bertha?
Well,
They did not play Bertha. They played a lot of music, but did not play Bertha.
Okay. See,
They
I
opened up with
I got a
Samson
little
and
bit more.
Delilah, which is like you got to have brass balls to open up with Samson and Delilah, and it was 25 minutes.
oh fuck!
It was so good though. It was great.
Were you high?
I don't know if I can
Yeah,
handle that. Though,
absolutely.
Like, right from the get.
So you don't know
I
if
mean,
it's good or not.
yeah, dude, it's Grateful Dead concert. If I'm sitting here getting high with you fuckers, you damn well I'm going to get high at a Grateful Dead concert.
Wow. That was on.
See, Matt, that's what happens, Matt, when you rally them all up like that.
Way to go,
Let's
Matt.
go.
Dude,
Just
Don't
wave
smoke the bear.
the red. You wave the red in front of the bull. Now you're asking.
Angriest hippie in the room. Let's go.
Mhm.
I thought you wanted to know more about Bob, Ted, Carol, and Alice. That's what.
is that
Hi,
that
Bob.
movie with Alan Alda?
No, it's
Hey, Bob.
Natalie Wood, Elliot Gould, Robert Culp, and Diane Cannon.
He should have been in it.
Yeah, he's in that movie with Carol Burnett with Four Seasons or something.
Four
like that.
Seasons. That's what it
Yes.
is. Four Seasons, not Four Lovers.
Yeah.
So.
No.
Four levers sounds better though.
Yeah.
It sounds like a conversation you would definitely overhear at the class reunion of the class of 1974. So I'm glad you guys are having this little fucking conversation, you old bastards.
Class of '74.
Yeah.
I'm
even
not even that old.
Yeah,
Oh, all right. 84. How about 84?
he's 78, isn't he? Aren't you
I'm
78?
80.
Oh, you're
You
80.
guys,
Okay.
You guys keep, beefing up my age, but, it just makes Jack older. So.
Yeah. Well, I don't care. This much closer.
I don't even have grandkids yet. You're trying to put me
This
in
much
that
closer being
category.
done. That's all I can
Yeah.
say. I can just lay there.
Wow.
I get
what
yelled
she
at
said.
when I get yelled at when I just lay there.
Well, you can lay it. You can yell at a dead guy all you want, but he's not going to listen. I did go see the Many Saints of Newark.
And
Oh, did you?
Now, you're taking a chance anytime you name a movie from New Jersey, right? Because it stings because it's in New Jersey. But if you've seen we've all seen Sopranos.
of course,
Yeah, sure. Seen a good portion of it.
You want spoilers? Kind of spoilers? What do you want?
I'm not going to see it, so you can say whatever you need.
just give us the review first, as in like out of 4 stars.
Yeah,
Or
I'd give it 3.
Okay.
I just finished the Sopranos Re-Watch, which was perfect going in because I got most of the inside jokes when they were talking about certain things because you go, oh, okay, that's from the show. Okay, that's from the show. I mean, the characters they had playing the, Paulie, Big Pussy, the guy that was playing Pussy, I mean, I had to look it up. I thought it was his son, but it's not.
I don't think you can say that anymore.
Big Pussy?
I just don't.
The 7 words you can't say.
All right, whatever way. Pussy. I left off big. Is that okay?
That's fine. So,
but still, and everybody, I mean, especially the mom, spot fucking on. I mean, it was like, okay, these characters, they did a great job casting these characters because they look and sound just in their mannerisms, all that stuff. The biggest problem was, what makes the Sopranos the Sopranos?
Paulie. Tony.
Paulie's in it. Yeah, Tony.
Tony.
And I just want to say that there wasn't enough Tony. It was more about another character we didn't know really much about and how it evolved. I'm going to say right now, either because Ethan last night said maybe that was like a backdoor pilot because maybe they're going to bring back the TV show from where the movie left off. Or there's going to definitely be another movie. There's no way they just left it the way they did.
Oh,
okay. I mean, did you watch the show?
Yeah, well, it didn't fade to black. Okay, and there was no journey. But it was no, because I think I was like I liked it, but it was like
it's hard to do prequels.
Yeah. Well,
is it a prequel?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's like a young Tony.
Yeah. But like I said, it was good. It took a while to get going. Once it got really talking about more of Tony as a youngster, then it got interesting. But but I don't know what Chris did. I obviously saw it. Not Chris, Chris going in the chat. I 3 stars is fair. I'd watch it. If you're a fan of The Sopranos, I'd watch it. But it wasn't like, oh my God, this is great.
Yeah, it was a debate for me, like to go watch. I didn't watch anything this weekend. I was like, should I go watch the new Venom movie or the Tony Soprano movie? I was like, I don't know. And I ended up being lazy and just kept watching For All Mankind on Apple TV.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
On season 3?
There's only 2 seasons.
Are you on season 2, rather? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm like midway through season 2. Yeah, because it'd been a while since I watched season 1, like when it first came out. So I was like, I'll just start from the beginning again. That way, I kind of know what's going on. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
Talk about a wild body transformation.
Oh, for Gordo?
For Gordo.
Yeah,
and that was real.
Wow,
that wasn't a fat suit. That was absolutely real.
But yeah, you're saying season 2?
Season 2, yeah.
So Gordo kind of he kind of
gets the beer belly. Yeah,
he goes into a bit of a depression after the events of season 1, and the actor put on had to have been 60 to 70 pounds. Like
really?
Yeah.
Because I haven't watched season 2. Well, I'm only on the 6th episode, I think.
Oh, season 2?
Season 1.
Oh, season 1. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I just never have. Every time I sit down to watch it, something happens.
There's definitely one if you can't say blink and miss it, but if you're not listening, I think it's in season 2 because there's a joke kind of towards the end of season 1 where they're up on the moon in the base, and all they have to watch is 6 episodes of the Bob Newhart show. And that's it.
Yeah.
And that's why I said hi, Bob, like when you said Bob earlier. But anyway, they keep wanting to get new stuff and they never get it. And then in season 2, I think it's in the first or second episode, NASA's on the phone. It's like, hey, do you guys want any new movies or TV shows to watch? And they go, yeah, we heard there's this new movie coming out about the Mercury 7 guys. Can we get that? They're talking about the right stuff. And I'm like, that's funny.
I didn't catch that. That's good.
Yeah.
So Dennis Quaid, does he put on the weight for Gordo?
I mean, the actor they got actually, to me, looks a lot like Dennis Quaid.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, he's not. I mean, he doesn't have the cutting handsomeness that Dennis Quaid had, but he's still they had the same body type.
Wow.
What?
You said had.
Well, yeah, he's like
still
70
yeah.
now.
I mean, he's still a good-looking man. He's still a good-looking man, but I mean, back when he in the 80s, Dennis Quaid was a handsome man.
You say he's not chiseled like.
Imagine being Randy Quaid and your brother being Dennis Quaid. Like, you talk about getting fucked.
Like, look at pictures of Jack actually in like the 80s and 90s. He was a handsome little devil, and then
it was shorts.
And then now we've got to have a green screen of Justin Theroux behind him to make him look better.
Tripod.
Yeah, tripod himself.
It happens to all of us. It does.
Yeah.
But there's some people, we've said it before, that just, your Rob Lowe's, your John Stamos, they just don't fucking age. And,
Yeah, John Stamos is a fucking alien, dude. I'm convinced. Like, he actually looks better now.
He's definitely sucked the souls of some children.
It's been floating around, like, on those, when you hit search on Instagram and all the random photos come up. Have you guys seen that of Tom Cruise and the kid that played the kid in Jerry Maguire, like side by side? And it just is like proof that Tom Cruise is a fucking vampire because he looks exactly the same he did in 1995. And this the kid looks, the kid looks like he's 45 or 50.
So you're saying there's something to this Scientology and them like sucking off all of his theodins or whatever?
Maybe. Yeah.
Well, just certain people, your Christy Brinkley's, your Elizabeth Hurley's, they don't age. It's just like, fuck it, it's not fair.
Yeah.
Or your Tom Brady's even.
And speaking of that, we did discuss last week, would he be cheered or not coming into the stadium?
Perfect.
And he was cheered.
But he was booed as he
hard
entered,
throughout the entirety.
Once the game started, he was booed, and
of course, that's what we said.
Who were you guys rooting for? Like,
I was rooting for the Patriots.
I mean, obviously the
Really?
Patriots, but
really,
Okay.
Yeah, it's my old team.
So you were rooting for the Patriots as well. I was just,
I root for every AFC team.
Or are you
that's not playing the
insinuating that I
Chargers.
might root for Tom Brady's team over mine?
Yeah.
Wow.
What an Indianapolis fan thing to say. But anyways, no.
I always love seeing the Patriots lose at home. So I was kind of, I guess maybe.
Well,
I'll tell you, dude. I'll tell you though. What a game!
It was a good game.
I want to ask Chris this: who cut off Belichick's balls?
What do you mean?
4th and 3, he doesn't go for it.
Oh yeah,
and it's pointing down range. Tom Brady is on the other
you
side
got
of
a
the
kicker
field.
who's got like kind of a bum leg already.
Bum leg. We heard that from Chris. Now remember, Folk has a bad leg, plant leg, at least 45,000 times.
I don't.
But I was like going, oh, he's going to go for it, and he didn't go for it. Literally,
but the thing is, though, to be fair,
thank
you. He fucking almost nailed it. Like he
but
was
even if
literally an inch from winning the game.
If he gets the field goal, you're a Patriots fan. I was a Patriots fan for a season, but I've seen enough Tom Brady games to know he has 55 seconds and 2 timeouts.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lifetime.
But he didn't see much of the end zone all night.
He didn't need the end zone; just needed a field goal.
Fair point.
To win the game, and so I'm like going, you got to go for it. And the sad thing was the play before the 3rd down play, he had his what's your new quarterback's name?
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones. He had the guy open. It got knocked down.
Oh, I know. That would have been game over. But
yeah, because he would have been another 7 yards. But anyway, I just like going. You got to go for it, but and then what's with Bill Belichick's son, Steve?
He's such a fucking weirdo. But he's doing that intentionally. That's the best part.
Yeah.
He's
got the cotton mouth. He's just,
so the thing about him is like he's his own meme because he's trying to step outside the shadow of his father.
So that's what he was doing.
Absolutely. Like he does that every game.
Oh, does he? I've never paid that much attention to him.
Yeah. Well, why would you? You're not really a Patriots fan.
I was.
No, but he does that. That's kind of his thing. He's just fucking weird, and he makes people know that he's there. That's the thing. Whereas his father is literally the complete opposite.
Look who his dad is. I'm sure he wasn't too, loving growing up.
True.
All right, Steve.
But one hell of a game. I mean, if you're going to have a silver lining of that game, like Mac Jones looked fucking great.
He did look good.
You know what I mean? Like, and that was kind of like his proving ground. I really wanted for him to win that game.
You wanted it for yourself.
Of course it did, but like I wanted Mac Jones, and I think he did that in this game. I think what's his name, Collinsworth, actually mentioned this towards the end, where like this is like the game he needed to have to kind of break free from the.
Yeah, it was sweet that he said that for the Patriots fans.
What?
It was sweet that Collinsworth said that for the Patriots fans. I mean, I remember when he said it, I was like, "Oh,
no, it's real." Like,
for him to win.
He has been playing with this season in his first ever season in the NFL after kind of beating out Cam Newton and going through all this type of stuff. So he's just always been considered the guy who's not Cam Newton or the other guy.
He's a rookie
who's behind Tom Brady.
That's part of the deal,
right?
And let's be fair. Tom Brady, won 6 Super Bowls with the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
So even if he wins 3, they're still going to say. You look at Tom Brady. I was thinking when I was watching the game. If say the Tampa Bay wins another Super Bowl this year. All right, is Tom Brady the best quarterback? Obviously, in the history of the Patriots, right? There's no question about that.
Best quarterback in the history of the game now.
Just stop. That's not what I'm going at. But is he the best quarterback in the history of Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what how often could you say that about a quarterback, that he was the best on this team and the best? That's I think because who do they have? Doug Williams is up there.
It's Tampa Bay.
I'm not saying
terrible for
Tampa
decades.
Bay.
Who do they have as quarterbacks?
Nobody.
Okay, so I mean, if you went to like the Chargers, the San Diego Chargers, he wouldn't have been the best. But
yeah, he would have.
No, he wouldn't have. On the Chargers, as a Charger player, I'm saying not as his whole career. I'm saying as a player.
Fuck Phillip Rivers.
I don't have Phillip Rivers listed.
Oh yeah. No, who does he call God?
What do I call God? Dan Fouts is the number 1 quarterback in Charger history.
Wait the fuck on. So you're trying to tell me that if Tom Brady went and played a season and won a Super Bowl with the Chargers?
Whoa! I didn't say win a Super Bowl. I didn't say
you did. You said that for Tampa Bay.
He did win a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay. You're saying that he would have gone to.
No, your initial question was because he won a Super Bowl in both teams. Is he's the first quarterback to be the best quarterback in both teams? Blah blah blah.
No, I'm saying that there's no, because we said Tampa Bay. There is nobody. You can go Vinny Testaverde. I mean, they don't have.
What I'm saying is the same experiment here. Let's say he goes to San Diego and wins the Super Bowl in San Diego.
Yeah, Jack.
That would be a fucking miracle because he's playing by himself.
He would be the best athlete in the world.
No, if he won a Super Bowl in San Diego, it'd be a miracle because he'd be winning by himself because there's no fucking team.
He'd have 1,000 rushing yards.
No, what I'm saying is we know he won a Super Bowl in Tampa Bay, but their history of quarterbacks sucks. San Diego, as bad as they are, or the Chargers, as bad as they've been, has a history of good to great quarterbacks.
So did you just take this entire conversation as a way for you to find an alleyway of information that somehow gave your San Diego Chargers credit for something?
It's sick.
No.
It's fucking depressing, Jack.
No, it is
I'm
not.
sorry
But
for you. Badly.
I was just watching the game. I said, God, is Tom Brady the best quarterback? I'm trying to think. They had
go on to your Survivor podcast.
They had Trent Dilfer. Did they? Yeah, they had Trent Dilfer. Did they? I know he played for the Colts.
Dilfer played
for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, right.
They had Williams,
not in the beginning of his career.
They had Dilford, Dillweed, Dickhead.
They had Garcia. But they've had. What I'm saying is,
shit! I was actually wrong. He started his career in Tampa Bay.
Dick York, Dick Sargent. Sorry,
Sargent.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Because the Colts didn't take Dilfer, and that's why.
Oh, that's the difference.
We had that blow up where what's the guy? The guru, the draft guy. You had that. That's what made the draft. That's what made not Chris Berman. That's what made the NFL draft so popular. What's the guy's name?
Oh. Sexy Sadie.
No, fucking A. Anyway, what's his name? He said something, and he goes, "I can't believe
Doug Williams,
No.
33 wins.
He goes, I can't believe the Colts didn't take Trent Dilfer."
Tim Tebow.
And then the GM for the Colts came on and said, "What is Mel Kiper? What has Mel Kiper ever done?" So that's what it got. That's what got the NFL draft going. So anyway.
Oh shit, that's right. Vinny Testaverde played there for like 5 years.
I mentioned that he was.
He did mention that. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that was the best part.
So they've had a history of terrible quarterbacks.
It's like this podcast.
But I'm saying most teams at least have a quarterback.
That's
You
what
can
I
say,
said.
okay, at least he's a great quarterback. But even the Colts,
Horrible team. Why are they even around still?
It's true.
It's a great question.
They should just take that cold out back and Old Yeller.
Hey, moving away from sports for a hot second.
Hey, but they beat the Dolphins. They beat the Dolphins this week.
Anyone could beat the Dolphins.
Well, except for the Patriots. Hey,
oh,
first game they lost. Mr.
Well, they knew their
sliced bread. And it's like,
the Dolphins. The Dolphins
Didn't
are
play
just,
that game because he wasn't on the fucking team.
The Dolphins are just paper
Thanks for making my
champions.
point, Matt.
no problem.
When did the Dolphins ever be a champion? Ever?
Hey, just
They won 72, 73 back to back.
Okay.
They're
This
the
it's not like
only
they've ever
team
won
that
the
went
perfect
undefeated.
season. I mean,
You're talking the 70s. That's when Matt was like 10.
I was alive in the 70s.
I was alive.
All right, so let's get away from sports. Let's get back into nerd shit for a hot second.
Okay, so just for a hot second, I want to thank Chris for being there and suggesting really great shows for us to check out every week.
Really?
Yeah, so I finally got around to checking this show out. This was a show that Chris had mentioned. It has been my new bingeable show that I watch at night as I'm painting or got something going on in the background. It is Superman and Lois. So
yeah.
it's a good.
Forgot about that show. I gotta pick it back up.
It's a good show. Like I like how it's a little bit more it's a little less CW than some of the other shows that I've seen out of that. Like, I mean, yeah,
Agreed.
It does have some teenage drama going on, but the psychological pull between the two brothers is actually pretty intriguing. It goes
pretty intriguing.
well. There's a lot of family stuff that happens that I think is really. There's some really powerful things. Like there's a whole thing about a lost child that comes out of the blue. You're like, whoa, we're dealing with some.
Who was the lost child?
Well, not a lost child, but a child that was lost. So
what's the difference?
Yeah.
I'm trying to not give anything away. Okay.
I
So-
don't. Who's here worried about?
Well, for anybody that's watched the show, or for Chris, Natalie is who I'm
fuck
referring
you.
to.
Why would you tell me that?
I don't even remember that.
Okay.
Well, she was
So
lost,
wait.
but she wasn't lost. She was lost.
What episode are you on?
I'm like nearing the end.
All right, so
The
that's
end.
probably I don't think I've seen this yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm like, they did kind of like a weird hiatus over the summer, and I think I only watched one or two since they came back. But that's I
there's-
forgot about that show.
I think there's like 16 episodes from what I was seeing on IMDb.
Oh, okay.
But I've been watching it on HBO Max, so that's been kind
Nice.
of my backup evening show. And not bad, not a bad show.
Yeah, I think the last episode I watched, I think, is when
Surprised me.
War Machine. I know it's not War Machine, but I'm utilizing the.
Mean machine.
I don't want to give away names of characters. So the War Machine character.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I'm talking about, Matt. He left, like after
Oh,
a big thing.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. I think that's roughly probably 2/3 of the way through the season.
so the character I'm talking about that was lost was a character that was
On
in it.
Lost.
That was on Lost. Speaking of Lost,
Just had one eye.
but no, I've enjoyed that show.
Anyone watch La Brea?
Yeah.
I did catch the first episode.
Is it how long is the first episode?
How long is the first episode?
Yeah.
It's just like a 44-minute. Or
Oh,
40.
okay, then maybe I should. I thought it was like a 2-hour thing. I'm like,
Is it worth it? I've been starting to see a lot of the a lot of commercials for it because I subscribe to Hulu so I can watch Why the Last Man, and they force fucking commercials on you even though you're paying for a fucking subscription, which I'm not a big fan of. But I've been seeing a lot of advertisements for La Brea.
Well, it has Natalie Z in it, right? So she's
Good looking woman.
justified.
Yeah.
The
In what now?
detour.
For
Not
La
sure
Brea.
what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched the pilot episode. It wasn't too bad. I was intrigued. There were some definite lost moments, and there's a lost call out. I think it's weird though that one of the characters
Does she go in another dimension?
is chastising another character for being high, which I thought was really kind of funny. It was like,
Wait, maybe you were
Oh.
high. You were
no, because I was like, I guess in California, like there's some people that are really pious against people that are stoners. I don't know. It was kind of a funny.
Okay, I lived in California most of my
But
life.
there is heroin that's also discovered in the pilot episode too. So you're just kind of like, wait, what? Did you guys really just go to this storyline in Lost as well? It's kind of an interesting.
Oh, Charlie, that's right. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. So,
So should I give it because I'm one of those things.
I'd give it a shot. You know,
I don't want to get into it. And then
I
they
thought the
can't-
acting
and
was a
then they
little
cancel
bit
it.
better than Manifest.
Well, that's not hard. That's not hard to beat.
I definitely watched the first episode of Manifest, and I was like, nah.
And it just goes downhill. I'm telling you.
These are
Although
good
the
actors.
last episode, I finished season 3 right after our last podcast,
I did too.
and the last episode did make me a little bit tear up, but it was good.
Yeah, it's fucked up, is what it is. Like what are they like that ending? If they ended the show, which I think was because the show got canceled, if it stopped there, that might be one of the top worst endings to a TV series.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they've already cast the next season.
Yeah.
Some name changes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Due to age
Intrigued.
gaps, I guess you could say.
Ooh.
Yeah, I can see that.
But
So the kids
yeah.
aged out.
it's one of those things now. Like I've made fun of this show relentlessly, consistently. I might add,
Okay, you-
throughout
you-
the
you
entirety
bashed
of my viewing.
It's
and-
justified.
and I'm
Don't
still
rub it in
looking
that
forward to
show.
the next season. Like as terrible as it sounds, I want more shittiness.
Yeah,
Bring it
I'll
on.
keep watching it. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I wondered how, like, with the character that changed, like in that last episode, you're like, so that's how they're gonna address that.
Yep.
They can't do the whole Walt thing where it's like, whoa, he disappears, and all of a sudden you're like, Jesus, you got big. Like, and then the other show we've been talking about recently that Matt and I watch is the Only Murders in the Building.
I watched the
Love
first episode,
Oh,
Did
okay,
you?
great, yeah.
so I started it.
Awesome.
It's you watched Steve Martin, and I grew up on Steve Martin. Like Matt, you did too. You were in the '70s. How he was such a he's really become a great actor.
Yeah, I mean, he's not playing Steve Martin. In
No.
some ways, when you see Martin Short,
He always plays the same character.
you're like, well, I know this Martin Short character, even though I do think he's bringing a certain. He's playing to his strengths, Martin Short.
Right,
is,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Like, but
Like, you talking about
Because-
inner space strengths? Because that movie is so good.
I love
no,
Inner
more
Space.
to kind of like his
Because
like
he's more serious. I mean, he's more right.
Yeah,
more his kind of like over the top, fantastical kind of aspect.
yeah. He's playing not quite as flamboyant the father of the bride character, but kind of like that.
Right.
Oh, we're talking about Steve Martin. Or we're talking about
Martin Short.
Martin Short.
Yeah,
But I think
Was Martin
I
Short
think-
in Father of the Bride?
both of them were.
Yeah. I thought he was only in the second one. I thought Martin Short was only in the second one.
Oh,
No, they're both.
He was the wedding
Is he
planner,
both?
right?
He's the wedding planner.
There you
Okay.
go.
Forgot about that.
Frock
Um,
or what his name is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it makes for a good pairing of a straight man versus, like the pairing of Steve Martin.
I mean, only one episode, but I go, God, he's just such a different. You forget he's a comedian.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he wrote, and this is his concept, him and some other person's concept, so he probably knows what he wants out of that character. Versus,
I mean, a lot of it in the beginning, though. Okay, that's classic Steve Martin, where he's uppity and where he gets he gets in the elevator and
Yeah.
Martin Short's trying to talk to him. He's like, "On
yeah. Yeah, it doesn't really gel until they get to the table in the restaurant, and then you're like, okay, now I'm going to keep watching it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
In the pilot episode, there's a really funny scene where these and Steve Martin's character is kind of well known for playing a certain he's an actor, and so
Brazos.
Yeah, Brazos. Yeah.
And so this guy stops him on the street, and he's like,
I love that. Yeah, I love that scene.
It's like there's this really funny but awkward moment that happens between them, and
you want a picture? Yeah. He has to take the picture.
I've rewatched that pilot episode a couple times because you're kind of looking for clues again, or as I mentioned in this last episode that Nick and I just watched today, it really, you're like, it just kind of really opens up even more possibilities, and you kind of want to go back and see, like, did I miss anything? Is it the doorman? Is it this person? You want to see, like, who's in the background.
The female detective that goes, oh,
one more of you fucking true crime podcast motherfuckers. Like,
yeah, we don't need. Yeah, we know what we're doing. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I actually forgot about it today, and Matt texted me around 2:00 my time, and it was like, "Did you watch the episode yet?" I'm like, "Oh shit, I forgot about it." And this episode was really interesting, especially to our type of community, because that's what they're doing on the show is they create a podcast. Well, this episode in particular, they actually have fans now. And so there's people that are out trying to meet them. And, for anyone who's never, like for a first podcast, it's like us. Like, we're just talking to us. We don't even think about anyone else listening to us. But then all these people are like, yeah, I know you. You're this person. Like,
except the people in the chat.
Right. They know us. Yeah. Okay. But it just was funny how like the fans of their podcast were like, they like this certain person on the podcast, or like they identify with this personality, and you're just like, that's so funny.
Is there one where someone doesn't like somebody?
No, that hasn't happened yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
all right, Chris, you're okay then.
Yeah, no one likes me. It's fine.
Nah.
I'm all right with it.
That was Tim. No.
But my personal theory,
you're not wrong.
so Jack, keep going. I want to see, like, maybe who you might guess might be because it is a little bit of a whodunit, and you're trying to suss out the different suspects as you're watching the show, and Nick and I have our theories going, and Nick was pretty damn close, and it opened up into like a whole thing. So
she always drops, another one, and it's like something else is gonna happen.
And I had kind of
with the omelets. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing with the omelets?
You'll find out.
Well, that wasn't his girl. That was her thing, right? She liked the omelets.
Well, you'll find there's definitely some weird things that happen in these first couple episodes with Steve Martin that you're like, why is he doing that? Like, why is that there? Like, why is he seeing that? And then, like, you find out, like, oh, okay. And they're nothing.
Because I'm watching it with my wife, and I said, "Are you craving an omelet right now?" Because I am. It's just they get the way I go. God, that looks good, and he just kept dumping it in the trash. But then he saw the bag. I don't want to spoil anyone. But.
I gotta get a version of Hulu that doesn't have commercials. It drives me fucking crazy.
It is worth it. I'm telling you.
That's what I have. Yeah, the non-commercials.
How much does it cost? It's $5 more.
It's $5 more, yeah.
And I'm like, fuck it. $5. I'll waste that money.
We had the commercial, and my wife got fed up, and she goes, "Look, originally we had when you had our account, we had no commercials, and she signed up for the one with commercials, and she was like, I can't do it. I go, then just pay the extra. I don't care."
Chris, like I said a few weeks ago, like when I moved into this house, you can't just switch plans. Like, you have to wait until your subscription completely runs out. Because I had originally subscribed to Disney Plus and got the Hulu and ESPN Plus package, so I had to wait till that expired, then log into Hulu and get I had to get the Hulu Live, plus Disney Plus, plus ESPN Plus with no commercials. Like, there's all these different options. You have to make sure it's the exact one you want, and then you're good. But it's just
it's brutal, to like, especially if you're going back and forth to watching an episode. So like I'll watch 20 minutes of an episode, and then when I go to break, I'll watch another 20 minutes of an episode, and you have to open it back up. And by the time you open up the app and you have to you force through like 3 like full length commercials, And it's like, all right, I've already wasted 10 minutes of my 20-minute break or 15-minute break. So what the fuck am I going to do?
I know we first had Hulu. We had commercials, and every one was the one with Julia Roberts. And she's doing some kind of perfume. And they said, is this relevant to you? I go, no. And every fucking week, I think I was watching, November 22nd with the Kennedy thing. Every fucking week, that fucking commercial. I go, come on. And every show I'd watch, that commercial, I go, no.
Why do you hate Julia Roberts?
I don't hate Julia Roberts, but
that's what you said. She wasn't relevant to you.
She wasn't.
But hey,
she wasn't knocking on my door, so she's not relevant to me.
Our listeners cannot skip this commercial break.
Ooh.
Or can they?
So I've got something I picked up and started watching.
Well, can I say something first though?
No, we're done. We're on. There was a commercial break.
All right.
Jack, I yield the floor.
I was going to say, we're here. Listen to us bitch about commercials. Matt, when we grew up.
And then it puts in a commercial.
There is no, you had no choice. There were fucking commercials. You had to sit through like 5 minutes of commercials before your show came back on.
But arguably, the Hulu commercial setup is far worse than anything we ever lived through.
Well, you should see this is my grandson when he's watching his iPad and a commercial comes on for 5 seconds. He shows the iPad. I go, dude.
Which grandson?
Hayden, the youngest one. It's like, I go, dude, it's just 5 seconds. We'll hit skip. Relax.
Yeah. Happens to my son too, watching YouTube TV, or he's watching one of those stupid fucking videos of kids playing with toys. Like, you know what I mean? Well, the kids are so obsessed with watching other kids open up and play with shit.
But a lot of those, like I've noticed, like Cocomelon, they're adult commercials, and I go, that's brilliant. Of course they are. That's brilliant because you don't want to go back to the Cocomelon shows. You watch the commercial.
It's like a commercial for the little blue pill,
or what's his name, Blimpy.
That fucker.
Oh,
yeah, he was under some scrutiny because there's videos of him taking shit on somebody. Did we ever talk about this? I'm having deja vu.
No, I don't know. This.
So Blippy,
I would have remembered that.
Blippy, apparently when he was in college, he had a YouTube channel. I forgot what his name was for his YouTube channel.
He was a comedian or something.
But he did like pranks and shit, and he was trying to be a comedian. And there was a video that surfaced, or someone unearthed, I should say, that of him like taking a shit on somebody.
Hey kids, you want to take a shit on someone?
It was like some prank of him pooping on somebody.
That's
embarrassing.
But we had it on today, and I'm like going. I literally watched this thing for like 20 minutes, going, "Oh, that's pretty." He was in some kind of, I think it was Vegas, some kind of kids thing where they do scientific things, and I got into it. I go, "Wait, what am I doing? Wake up!
Yeah, stop it!
Move on."
There's so many of those. There's copycats out there, and there's like all like Canadian versions because there's like so many like Canadian TV stuff you don't normally see that gets popular on YouTube. So you start seeing it here,
and you just look at the view. He's like, "Fuck!" They got 1 million subscribers. You're like going, "Who the fuck is watching this?" My wife watches some things where it's the family life thing. I go, I don't know how you watch this. It's boring. It's the same. They go to Starbucks. They go to Target. It's the same fucking stupid show every day.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hey,
I like to watch
something right.
I like to watch other people go to Target and do shopping, and then open up everything. They take it home. They put everything away. I love that shit.
It's no different than like my kid watching some asshole play with his toys that he just opened up on screen. You know what I mean? Like it's like, for whatever reason, it's addicting.
I don't get the fetish of there's people out there that get paid to do whisper podcasts or whisper channels. Have you seen that?
That's what this show was.
What?
That's what our show was.
It's just weird. It's like, hi Jack, we're doing this today. And that's all they're doing. They're just whispering to you through a microphone, and then they'll like even like have gentle sounds, like they'll like rub their fingers across a balloon or whatever, and they get paid for that. Yeah,
it's huge. It's a big thing. People are people
turning
get
you
a boner from what Matt Heath did.
Yeah.
Okay. Really, that's a thing. I didn't even know that existed.
Or they scratched the microphone.
Mm-hmm.
And people tune in for that.
Oh my god, yeah, it's huge.
What am I doing? Hey, wait, come on, that's not real.
It's real. It's very AS. Yep.
AS. How do I search for this? Because
you just search in
Right there, ASMR.
ASMR.
You can just Google it, or you can go to your favorite porn site and type in ASMR, and then you'll get some
A very
porn.
different thing.
Oh, it's a
DVD.
porn thing.
Type in DVDA.
Wait, what?
What?
Never mind.
Wait, what? What are the kids into these days, Nick?
That's an
ASMR. Wait, hold on. Can we back it up for a second? ASMR porn?
No.
Yeah, there is
Can't
some
be that.
ASMR.
Really?
Yes, yeah, there is totally.
No.
I'm
usually
going
like some-
to do some research on this
I
at
assume-
some later
We
That's
time.
what
We lost Chris for the rest
Yeah.
of the episode.
I've only heard it. I've never seen.
So, anyways, I'm going to go for a third attempt to try and talk about the show that I wanted to talk about.
Oh, you had something to talk about?
Superman and
Yeah.
Lois.
I did. No, that was you, Matt.
Ted Lasso.
Ooh,
I started watching. And this is, it was news to me as I didn't really follow this whole thing as it happened. But the Inspiration 4 flight by SpaceX. I don't know if you guys are familiar with what that was. That's awesome. Are you guys familiar with the Inspiration 4 mission to space that launched in September?
flight.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was like the 4 civilian craft.
Mhm.
Four
The one with
civilians
the
on
giant
a
dick?
craft went around the house. Went around the Earth for 3 days.
Oh, that
That's
wasn't
the premise
It,
of-
wasn't the Amazon one, was it?
No, it was not.
looked like a
So
giant
this one was
penis.
by SpaceX, but Netflix put out a mini series documenting the process of how the flight idea came to be, the selection process, etc. And it is fucking fascinating to watch, and I highly recommend it.
I was
It's,
gonna watch it. And I said, I don't know.
Countdown, Inspiration 4's mission to space. I'm 3.5 episodes into it, and like I'm in, right. And Matthew Tree says, "Remember Rule 34, Chris?" Yes, I do remember Rule 34. Everybody at home, you can Google that if you dare.
All right, Matt, you got to change the background because I can't focus anymore.
Yeah,
What's
right.
wrong with my background?
But anyways, so I highly recommend from what I've seen so far, about halfway through the series, it's Countdown, Inspiration 4's mission to space. Very, very cool story.
Is that a
You
paper
get a really
delivery
good, cool
person?
insight of the backgrounds of the civilians that were selected and how that all happened.
This is who was the this
very
was
much recommend.
who was it? SpaceX.
SpaceX, yeah,
SpaceX. Okay.
Space sex?
sure.
Anyway, yeah, I was gonna watch that, and I decided not to do it. I don't know why.
Yeah, check it out.
I'm sorry, I can't concentrate. That's background.
Seriously, my background is bothering you so much?
It's. I'm not. Am I alone?
I mean, it was cool, but it's okay.
All right,
I
go
mean,
ahead and leave it
just think about how valuable that paper is.
up. Well, maybe is it like rawhide? She's leading the other dolphins to slaughter. Rolling.
So this week's
the ocean swollen.
this week's
Boy, my ass
image
is swollen.
graphic for the show image, whatever it was, it had images of each of us as dolphins. So
And Chris had blue balls, right? Or Nick did.
each one of you had a ball, but
Yeah.
But someone's was blue.
Mine was blue. I didn't understand. He put me first billing, which was nice, but he gave me blue
I did.
balls.
I did.
So I was not happy with that.
Well, you'd been sitting in the back row for so long.
And
that, they turned blue. So when you get back billing like that, you're always like waiting.
so I referenced 4 letters earlier, which I don't think anyone got. Is most Matt and Trey, from South Park, most people think Basketball is their first movie, but their first movie is actually called Orgasmo.
Oh
Which is
yeah,
a-
Orgasmo. I
Dude,
never saw it.
Orgasmo is a fucking phenomenal movie.
Right, and so that's why I said that when you guys said the first word, I said DVDA, and y'all both went what? And I was like, yeah, because that's the whole one of the jokes is that DVDA can't be done, and then at the very end you never see it, but you see someone go, the horror. So anyway, I'm not going to
I
explain
literally
it.
just put 2 and 2 together.
There you go. Yeah. So
They
if
had
anyone
a
out
stunt
there-
cock. Where's the stunt cock?
Didn't they have that third? Didn't they have that? What was it? It was Americans or something. It was a stupid.
Oh, the puppet one. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that one. The only one I liked is when they went and they destroyed a country and they said, We saved you. That was great. But
America, fuck yeah!
Here to save the motherfucking day, yeah.
I actually really liked that movie.
I just thought saw it in the theater. Maybe it's because it's so late. I was falling asleep.
Yeah, it's like we talked about it like a while back, and I loved Super Troopers. For example.
Oh my god,
loved it. It was one of those great college movies you just got high to and just died laughing to.
For sure.
And then
first scene.
Yeah, then in 2003 or 2002, whatever it was, they came out with the second one, which was not Super Troopers 2, but like a Club Dread. And I went and saw that, and that movie was just absolute shit from beginning to end. And you're like, how do you make a classic like Super Troopers and then just make a tub of shit,
And then slamming salmon.
Super Troopers was
awful movie.
What's her name? Right, she was in it.
Oh yeah, what's her name? She's really good in What's That Thing?
Yeah,
I don't remember a woman.
I haven't seen her since that other show.
You know
what? It's funny. I literally do not remember a woman in the movie.
There's the blonde. There's the blonde cop that was from the city
wouldn't.
police, but
right.
It's mostly all the guys.
Yeah.
maybe I'm wrong. I think I did.
Super Trooper for me that was a combination like movies in my house. It was Super Troopers and Wet Hot American Summer because I believe they're roughly around the same time. Those
you watch
two movies
the show?
I've watched 1,000 times.
Did you ever watch the show, Chris?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was. It was fun. I liked that they got all of those actors back again.
Yeah.
So
I keep thinking that Jack's shirt is that famous Joy Division T-shirt.
I know, right?
And I'm like, it's not. I'm like, what the hell is it?
And it's so weird too because it seems out of place for Jack to wear a Joy Division shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he was really big into that new wave. So
Yeah, I wasn't into New Wave. Just the.
I actually saw a guy in Portland this weekend wearing said shirt. The Joy Division
right?
shirt.
That makes sense.
It's a famous shirt, and then it's like there's a meme out there too that says like when someone wears it, you just want to yell like, "Name 3 fucking songs of Joy Division," like because they don't know. Ah, shit, I froze. Shit. Never mind. It's when I get they censor me when I get angry.
They do. It's that beer talking. So, what can I say?
I'm getting in a bad habit now, like because usually I only drink about 4 beers per podcast, but now I'm getting these growlers, and so I'm basically finishing this. I'm finishing this fucker for every episode now.
Well, that's good.
Oh,
yeah, I'm going to look like Gordo.
Well, you can play Santa Claus in a few months. There you go.
Yeah.
Make some extra income.
I actually did lose 5 pounds when my parents were here because they never eat. So it was like, we're going to go eat anytime soon? We're not hungry yet. Okay. Well,
They don't eat? So
no, they eat like 1 meal a day around 4:30. And so it was just interesting.
Is it birdseed?
It's actually neat because it was a birdseed. Yeah. But you kind of just learn to push. You learn to push through lunch, and then when you go for dinner, there's no lines because you're there at fucking 4:30. So it's like,
there's plenty of birdseed.
There's plenty of
menu is actually not yet even available, so you're getting like the shaft on both ends.
Yeah, we just switched. Staff from the lunch crew to the dinner crew. So
So no snacking. No, they just eat once a day.
They eat once a day. Yeah, like basically for like the last 7 years or so, they eat like once a day.
So they have victuals, but they don't have breakfast.
No, not really. I mean,
imagine a world that I could live in like that. That just blows my mind.
I don't know. It's just something about
what the fuck.
What's Matt doing?
Matt just started stripping, and now he's headless.
There
we go. Okay,
there you go. He's fucking hiring a kite.
What? No, I'm working on the names. It's distracting me from.
I think we should highlight Miami Mike's comment there at the bottom.
Okay, I will do that.
Miami Mike says the same thing happens when I wear my dolphin nut pulp shirt out in public. Non-stop people yelling at me.
Where did you get that shirt? It's awesome.
I need one of those now.
I need 3 of their songs.
It's telling you, it's a hit shirt. I'm telling you,
it is.
Man.
Well, hey, I would be remiss if I didn't mention my name or tag down here, which is being blocked by Mike's comment. Save the boobies. It's National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, everybody.
I mean, clearly those are fake tits because the nipples are up high.
That's what I was thinking. I didn't want to say it.
How do you make it normally? Is there a way to do it? Like,
you use asterisks. That's why. You have to use periods instead of asterisks.
Oh, duh! Fuck. Well,
or if you
whatever.
really
You
want,
must have done this a few times, Nick.
you can use a
I was the cool kid with a calculator in school. Yeah,
You could say hello.
Yeah.
more like a calculator.
Yeah.
No, but in all seriousness,
How'd
National
you know my
Breast Cancer
handle?
Awareness Month.
My name is
Something that
I'll calculator.
something.
That just doesn't add up.
I know it sounds like the Terminator, except for a dick movie. You know, like,
I'll calculator. I'll be
anyways.
back.
Breast Cancer
I love
Awareness
how
Month.
Chris is the one trying to be serious right now. For once.
what's
What I
he
was trying to say
cooking?
is it's a very important thing for me, and I think it should be for many people. So
Yeah,
I agree.
go get checked out. Get
I'm
checked out early. Get checked out often.
I'm gonna stop making jokes.
You can
I will
save
too.
your life.
I'm actually done now.
What about the girl on Terminator?
I know it's like,
Terminator. What was that movie? She had 3
Which one?
breasts.
Oh no, that's Total
no,
Recall.
that's Total Recall.
Total Recall. Yeah, Total
Oh
Recall.
right.
Best cinematic moment of my fucking adolescence. By the
Heck
way,
yeah.
Ironically, one
We
of
don't
us
probably
couldn't-
this. No, we don't.
I wish I had 3 hands. So good. Fucking Total Recall. I need to go back and rewatch Total Recall. It's been a minute.
Not the second
since I've seen
one.
Total Recall.
Even though it has
There's a second one.
You mean the
Wait,
reboot?
reboot.
The remake,
Oh.
yeah.
The
remake
Colin,
had,
Colin Farrell.
No,
Colin
you
Farrell.
Colin
can't call
Farrell
that a
and
second one.
what's her name?
Oh no, my God! I did see that.
Colin Farrell and what's her name?
There's lots of what's her name.
This is what happens
Kate,
when you reach this age,
Kate-
Jack.
Kate?
It's my birthday.
Anywho,
Anyway, yeah. The
But
original
you're the
Total
one-
Recall is excellent.
awesome movie.
I would
He had-
say your recall is not.
Arnold had some.
excellent.
Let's face
It's
it.
not
Arnold
total.
had he wasn't a great actor. But he had some great.
It's like half
movies.
recall.
The Running Man. I love The Running Man.
I mean, I think The Predator is probably the best. Well, I don't know. The Predator and Aliens is
Running
right there
Man.
in the top 2 action films of the 80s for me.
Running
Commando.
Okay.
I like
You
Running
guys
Man.
are fucking nuts, man.
Running
It's got
Man is-
Freddie Mercury as the villain at the end. It's
What the
best.
fuck are you talking about?
You talking about the guy in Chainmail as Freddie Mercury? Are you serious?
No.
Go back to your
are
name.
Really high, dude.
I got to figure out one for Joanne. So
What are you talking about?
No, I just like.
I was
the-
talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger movies.
No, I like The Running Man.
Kate-
It's just not.
Thank you, Sherry. Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah, Kate Beckinsale.
Thanks.
Even though she's in
I
it,
love her.
yeah, she's fantastic. Another one. She's like at almost 50, but she doesn't age.
Well, she's probably had a little help.
Well, she exercises and eats right. You know, she's
Yeah.
British.
What's funny is that, like, I remember reading an interview a few years back with her, and she was talking about how most men actually know her from Serendipity, a romantic comedy she made,
Yeah.
than they do for like Underworld or any of her other movies that she would think more men would watch. But she's like,
Right.
no, it always comes from some guy who was watching Serendipity with his girlfriend or his wife, and they're like, "Oh, I loved you in Serendipity," and she's like, "Oh, you know that one? Okay."
Yeah.
You know?
I tried to watch Pearl Harbor with her.
That's
and,
so bad.
I said,
Wait,
oh,
she's
my
in Pearl Harbor?
Yeah, she's like the main girl.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, so okay. So Total Recall and Pearl Harbor are 2 movies have completely moved out. They're not living rent free in my head, so I can't remember what's in those movies.
Oh, Miami Mike's Kindergarten Cop. Yeah, that was a.
I like Kindergarten Cop.
Most intense Arnold.
Anytime
film,
anytime I hear the word tumor, I say it's not a tumor.
Not Tumor.
of course you do. Everyone does.
I have
This
to.
is the movie I was talking about, Commando.
Commando. Yeah.
No, you mean when someone says they have a headache? That's like your go-to. Like, I have a headache. Like, it could be a tumor.
tumor.
Not a
Or
tumor.
it's not COVID.
Because there used to be a guy in the Giants, a receiver, Amari Tumor. And every time
Yep.
he caught the ball, I would say, it's not a tumor. It's not a tumor. And my wife would go, why you do that? I go, I have to. I have to do it.
I'm
I will
obligated.
die. I will die if I don't say it.
Like my boss, out of the blue yesterday.
My boss.
He's like, "Hey, are you cool to take a piss test?"
What?
Yeah, because like there's some client that needs me to do something, but in order to look at their data, I have to like pass their drug tests. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm good, boss." And he's like, "Oh, all right." And I was like, "But
beer's not on the thing."
Yeah, as long as beer is not a part of the test. But he and then what does he say? We get into something, and I go, "But it could be the poppy seeds." I don't know. And then, but he is right up there with us, like just 100% geek. And so he's like, "Oh my God, I forgot about the poppy seeds." Like, it's like
the poppy seeds.
The poppy seeds. Yeah, exactly.
I need your Mrs. Seinfeld. I need your urine. You're menopausing. You can't go. Anyway.
But yeah, like I like the most of Arnold's 80s films,
Well, I was just sitting there thinking, I go, he's got so many great movies, like Kindergarten Cop, like when he punches the dad that's abusing his kid.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and then like Twins. I love Twins.
Twins. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Twins. He was big in that.
The original.
What's funny
Red
is like the movie Red Dawn. No, not Red Dawn. Red. It's Red something else.
Yeah.
Red
Sonja.
Red Sunset.
It's something weird.
It's Red Sonja, isn't it?
Red Sunrise.
But what's funny is like the movie that
Red Dolphin.
Conan
the Barbarian.
Yeah.
I mean, Heat.
The Heat is also red.
But what's funny is that the two movies that kind of killed his career, which you would think, you look at like the run he had
when he went for governor,
was Last Action Hero and Junior. Junior and Last Action Hero were the two that like basically just killed it.
Well, that was where he had the toy, right?
No, that's the Christmas one.
Okay. Yeah, that's Last Action Hero.
Last Action Hero is the ticket one.
Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way.
That's up there, though.
Red Sonja. I mean, Mike said
Red Sonja, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, and no one would listen to me.
I know. It's up there with Red Heat.
Red Heat, that's the one I was thinking of.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Too late, man. Too late.
Too late, baby. Now
but the thing is, like, Last Action Hero really isn't that bad of a shit. Last Action Hero is really not that bad of a film.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's great. I like Last Action Hero, but it got terrible
movie.
reviews. It got terrible reviews at the time, and like when you watch it, it's like,
movie going on.
What's wrong with it? Yeah,
I think it's fantastic. Yeah. Like, what's his name with the happy face eyeball?
Yeah,
shit was awesome.
Lord Tywin Lannister.
A little too much leg there, Jack. A little too much leg.
Monsters Inc. The little eyeball that looked like a monster? I don't know.
This
conversation.
BBS?
That guy was in Alien 3, he was in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff.
Nick, when you break up, you sound like a robotic banjo. It's a weird kind of sound. JP says Pumping Iron was the Christmas movie about a running man who got terminated.
Oh.
So that clears that up.
Yeah,
thanks.
I always love that the fact that
we don't plan the show.
Bill Paxton. Bill Paxton's the only one that was in, Terminator, Alien, and Predator.
And Twister.
Raw deal. Oh,
got killed.
Good movie.
And
got
Twister.
killed.
Terminator.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like as in like.
I'm just
yeah.
He's
Terminator, Predator, and
Bill Paxton was in a lot of movies.
Right.
Aliens. Yeah.
Oh my God, he was in the Titanic.
It's almost like it's Weird Science to me.
Yeah, he's in Weird Science. Weird Science.
That movie can't be made today.
Shit.
So two boys wearing bras on their heads cannot digitally make.
And Kelly LeBrock, don't hate me.
Right.
There's a lot of like those weird 80s films though that can't be made. I mean, you look at Porky's or any
Porky's couldn't be made again.
Yeah, or even Revenge of the Nerds couldn't be made. Like there's a lot of.
There's a really cool Weird Science reference in Ready Player 2. If you haven't read it yet,
it's back here on the shelf, but I have not read it.
Yeah, it's actually very cool.
Das Boots copy.
They do a real big deep dive into John Hughes. It's pretty good.
One of my favorite John Hughes films, which often gets overlooked and shit on, is Curly Sue, which is like one of his last ones. I like Curly Sue.
Curly Sue got married, right?
No, not that one. No. The other one. The one with John Candy.
James Belushi.
Thanks.
I just picked a fat guy. There we go.
Just riding that dolphin, man. Out into the sunset.
Can I take fat cokeheads from the 80s for 500, Alex?
Sure, go for it.
Let's see. Jim Belushi.
Nope.
No, John Candy. No. John Belushi.
Ding, 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 ding. Richard Pryor. Oh, wait, he was a fat.
I'm on fire. Yeah.
He was just on fire. I get those two confused.
You remember the joke with the two matchsticks? He goes, what is this? Running down the street.
So bad.
And I always felt bad because Richard Pryor was so goddamn funny.
Mm-hmm.
I still remember the joke that Eddie Murphy told about Bill Cosby. He goes, yeah, I get a call from Bill Cosby saying, you know, I don't like your language and your comedy routine. So he goes, so I called Richard Pryor and he goes, do you like what you're doing? He goes, yeah. Are you making money what you're doing? He goes, yeah. He goes, well, tell Bill to go have a Coke and a smile and shut the fuck up. And it turns out Bill Cosby was a fucking asshole.
Oh yeah. Well,
He's the one who said R. Kelly was framed.
And who's now free.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
So actually, did you guys watch Saturday Night Live this past week?
I did not.
Did not. No,
I didn't watch it live.
I forgot it was on. I did watch the Weekend Update.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm referring to. So, what's his name? Shit. Who's the
Michael Shea?
No, the guy
Tom
whose
Jost.
dad. The guy. No, it was not the host. He's Pete Davidson. Pete Davidson was on Weekend Update, and he was talking about the whole R. Kelly thing, and he made some really strong perspectives / political points / like kind of like telling people to fuck off when they're trying to diminish someone's reputation of having music, or like he brought up the references of like Michael Jackson. Now people don't listen to Michael Jackson anymore because of what happened with him and all that type of stuff. And it was interesting. One of the perspectives that he took was, well, if you're taking away something from R. Kelly, like you're not going to listen to R. Kelly's music because of what he's been accused of. He's like, he compared it. What's that?
He's been convicted of.
Right. So he actually compared. He goes, well, if you're no longer going to be a fan of R. Kelly because of what he did, then why are you still a fan of the Catholic Church? And the whole fucking crowd just went,
hilarious.
Well, today, you see what happened today?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
crap.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
But I'm like, did Pete Davidson just make the point of the century? Like, that was amazing. I was like, he shut everybody up.
Well, for me, he didn't shut me up because I'm not Catholic.
And he tied it all back together at the end of his little thing. So you thought that he was going to go off the rails, which he definitely did for a couple of his one-liners.
We can't pick and choose who we cancel, right? Yeah. I mean, some people go, okay. Like, to me, I was never an R. Kelly fan. I couldn't tell you one. I couldn't tell you one song, but I go. This has been going on for like this has been going on for like
the best thing ever.
This has been going on for like 20 years with him, though.
I mean,
it's not new. I mean, he's just not a good guy,
right?
And for people to keep supporting him, you know, it's like, okay, well, I like his music, so I'm going to keep. It's okay. He can keep abusing people. I don't care.
So you're right, though. It's been 20 years because, I mean, Chappelle's show did Piss on You in 2002.
Holy shit. It's that old?
Yeah. It's either 03 or 02 or 03.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I remember. Wait, he's still getting. Why is he still out there? He's a terrible person.
Yeah. But Pete Davidson actually made a good point towards the end. He's like, you know, he was. Enjoy the music, enjoy the art they made, because if you like it, blah blah blah, this and the other. He goes, just do yourself a favor, and every time you listen to it, donate $1 to like a charity in defense of people who have been abused or victimized. And I was like, it's one way of looking at it.
I see his point, but I'm not a Catholic, so that doesn't.
I was Catholic until I reached the age of reason. That's a George Carlin line.
Yeah,
rest in peace, George.
My name, Mike. I like how you're breaking news here. Most shocking admission ever on the Ramble Cast. Jack was not.
You are not alone.
I couldn't tell you one song from R. Kelly.
I watched a funny video I'd never seen, a little clip of late 80s Michael Jackson, like peak Michael, and he's getting an award for something, and Eddie Murphy standing just to the left of him, but the mic is too low, and like he tries to pick it up and adjust it up, and he can't, and then he just looks, in his high pitched voice like, Eddie, raise it up, and Eddie just like snaps too, and he's like I'm working for the man, like you have to see it, but it's funny, just like
I've seen it, yeah. That's when Michael was on top.
Yep, and Eddie was still funny.
Yeah,
because I mean, like I really wanted to like Coming to America too. I thought it was shit.
Well, I was going to watch it, but you bashed it, so I said, "Fuck."
Did I?
Watch it.
It was terrible.
Terrible.
I mean, terrible.
Terrible.
I give it like 1 star.
Yeah, when you said that, I said, "Okay, I'm not." And it didn't do very well, did it?
I don't think so. It just was not. Just I mean, I had low expectations of it too, because I mean, you're never going to beat the first Coming to America.
The first one
it's so good.
Is amazing.
But it was just like I didn't laugh. It's just like, this is bad. I mean, I've definitely seen movies that are worse, but it's just like, sorry.
There's the problem is there's just too much stuff on. I mean, you have too many options where you go, fuck it, I don't need to watch. I don't need to waste my time with this. I'm going to go watch Manifest.
Well, you laugh at that for the wrong reasons, though.
I was curious though,
Matt. Chris, you're muted.
Oh, sorry, I had a calling.
Oh. Follow the calling.
That was a Manifest joke.
Follow it, Matt. Do you need help?
No, Chris. Did you get further into why The Last Man?
Yeah, I'm current.
Okay.
Yeah.
Enjoying this show? I mean, with your expectations being high since you were a comic book reader, where are you landing on the show so far?
So what's interesting is that the book is definitely much more of a story told solely from the perspective of Yorick, right? So it was like it's his story. What's interesting about the show is it's definitely the opposite. They're doing a really nice job of kind of like setting the stage for different factions or groups and really getting a full backstory of how all these things are. So when you're reading the comic or the graphic novel, depending on how nerd you want to be, you're only discovering these groups of people through the eyes of Yorick, right? So you're not getting all the backstory and stuff. So it's actually really cool to see. Some of the acting is on Manifest's level, however.
Which characters are you calling out here? I'm curious.
Agent 355 or whatever. It's the acting is real bad, like real bad. But the character I like is the doctor from Boston that they snatched up and met up.
Yes,
with. She's hilarious.
She also provided that much needed like exhale. You're watching an apocalypse show as we're living through an apocalypse. It can be a little heavy, and you need a moment to laugh. That first episode to me was just really brutal and intense. And to get past that, especially again living through what we have, you do need. Even Lost had it with Hurley. Hurley was the voice of everybody could kind of like. He was the voice of the fans. He was the voice of reason that you kind of. Yeah, like
he was every man. He was the man's man, every man's man, or whatever.
And you need a character like that to decompress the situation.
Man.
So, because everything's really intense. So far on the show, and we still can't hear you.
And they're definitely taking a really strong political stance from one of the storylines as well, which is like very, very similar to what we are experiencing currently. But overall, it's definitely on my list of shows to watch. Like, I don't know if I love it yet, to be honest with you. Like I've seen, is it 4 or 5 episodes in?
Yeah.
It's interesting. Like it's.
I'm curious about how like the society is shaping up with women running everything, and how you have these different factions.
Right.
What show is this?
Why the Last Man? It's on Hulu.
All right. Okay.
There's something about it that I'm just not quite
clicking on
it. Yeah.
I will say this though, for Hulu, I feel like they got Why the Last Man, Only Murders in the Building, What We Do in the Shadows, all those shows come out on Hulu, and I've been enjoying that little weekly treat of like, oh, hey, it's Friday. It's time for me to catch What We Do in the Shadows, or oh, hey, it's Tuesday. It's this show. So kudos to Hulu keeping me excited about subscribing to this streaming service with some interesting content, even when it might be like I'm not, when I watch Why the Last Man, it's not hitting me on all of the cylinders as what some of the other shows are, but still I'm enjoying them. So
Matt in the chat says, considering that Amber Tamblyn is basically Meghan McCain, and holy shit, is that like a spot on like comparison? I can't fucking stand her character. I fucking hate her character. It's so bad.
And Matt Treese also mentions What We Do in the Shadows has been crushing it this season. So
I know what you did last summer. I was like, we're trying to figure out what the background was.
If you haven't checked out that show and you like comedy, it's definitely it's got some quirky moments, some really good comedians, and some very intriguing storylines. So
I don't like to laugh.
Okay, if you don't like to laugh, don't watch this show.
Why listen to this podcast?
I know. I feel like
you do the Survivor podcast, Jack. You lie every week about how much you enjoy that show.
Actually, I haven't lied the first 2 weeks. I was basically talking about a guy's, because JP brought up one of the survivors, male survivors, his nipple. I was like, they seem bigger than normal, and I couldn't help. Every time I said, "God, put on a shirt. You're distracting me because your nipple's too big." And that's I think we talked about for like 25 minutes.
Could you milk him?
Well, that's what I'm gonna have. Why I've kept the green screen up is I'm gonna take a picture of this guy to have his giant
His nipples.
So I've never felt better about not watching a show. I to this date have never seen one episode of
Chris and I are on the same.
I love Survivor because I love the strategy, but it's just like the season is just like it's just they're just trying. I don't know.
There's definitely some seasons where you're like, this is a waste of time.
I hope it gets better, but it's just like, okay, you're trying to do. I don't want to say anything, so I don't get in trouble. But anyway,
okay,
just show.
I remember losing interest.
Shut the fuck up. There.
I remember losing interest in it like early on. Like I watched the first 3 seasons, I think, and I liked it. And then the 4th season, I remember hating it. I think it's the 4th. And it wasn't until the first All Stars, which was like season 7 or 8, that I was like, oh, I like it again. Because it was they every now and then when they completely change the show,
right?
It gets interesting for a couple seasons, and then the audience catches up, and the people that go on like who've watched every single season of Survivor and know how that game works, and then you're just kind of like, okay, now it's getting boring again.
Well, I was watching.
You were talking about Survivor. I thought you were talking about this show.
I was watching. I've been watching.
No, we love people that watch every single episode, Matt. Don't shit on our listeners.
Exactly, Matt. I've been watching Curb Your Enthusiasm, and an episode where Colby from
right.
He was in it, and because the rabbi goes, "Hey, can I bring someone who's a survivor?" and Jerry goes, David goes, "Yeah, sure," because my dad's bringing someone who was a survivor. So they're talking about the Holocaust.
Yeah,
and because Curb Your Enthusiasm. Have you never seen Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Yes.
It has. So they're at the dinner table. He goes, "I thought you were bringing a survivor." He goes, I was out there for 42 days with limited food. I was in the Holocaust. So he's arguing back and forth.
Right.
His time on Survivor and this guy who survived the Holocaust. I mean, it's not something we should be laughing
Larry
at.
David is
he's a genius.
He's
American treasure.
He's a treasure. I don't know why it's always the one that I think of when I think of Curb is the Michael J. Fox episode. Where he's upstairs neighbor and he's like, "What is that with this guy just banging on the floor all the time?" When he gets up there and it's Michael J. Fox, he's like, "Oh, yay!" And he's like,
"Hey,
hey!"
But it was so well done because
well done.
Here's Colby from Survivor complaining about how his 42 days. Hey, we had limited food. We had no internet.
right.
He's arguing with a guy who survived the Holocaust. You're like going, "Oh my God!" It's just. But it's what I'm amazed is all the young, people who are stars now, that you had in one episode you had Zachary Levi was in it from Chuck.
Oh, and Curb Your Enthusiasm?
And Curb Your Enthusiasm, he was in it. And then it was the one where he's on Broadway because Mel Brooks has gotten him to do the producers, and he's behind him 100%. And he's like this, and then he forgets his lines. And then he meets his wife was Anne Bancroft. He goes, "I've done it. Larry David has finally destroyed the producer, so we don't have to go on the road anymore for the producer." So the only reason he had him, but then Larry David comes back and saves the day. And anyway, it's if you've never seen Curb Your Enthusiasm, it's not a show. So sometimes I'll binge it. I'll watch like 3 episodes, and I go, okay, I got to stop because I can't take David anymore. But
there was a picture of him recently I saw in a crowd. I forget what the crowd was for, but it's one of those things where you go, is he Larry David really just Larry David? Because it shows him in this crowd, and he's got his fingers in his ears like, "You're fucking too loud."
Yeah.
You're like, what is it? And it's like, it's so Larry David of just, a whole crowd that's so happy and cheering, and he's over there just miserable, like, just curmudgeon.
It's funny, it reminds me of a story that, my buddy Dave, who's the stuntman guy, Dave, he has this story that he was at some premiere of a movie that his friend was in, like he's I don't know, like a C-list actor or whatever. And his friend is flamboyantly, like very outwardly flamboyantly gay. And he went to the red carpet premiere with this crazy, like huge jacket, like very colorful, like very like statement, like I'm on the red carpet type of jacket. And he always tells a story about how he walked up to Larry David on the red carpet because they were all at the same premiere or whatever. And he's like, "Hey, that's one hell of a jacket." He looked around. He was like, "Am I literally in the making of a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode right now?"
Right.
It's like him in real life and in living color. He's the same guy.
It's hilarious. I mean, I was watching the one the other day. He adopts a dog, and the dog is always barking at the black people.
Right.
And Wanda, what's her name?
Sykes.
Doesn't he scream something in German later, and the dog responds or something?
Yeah.
No, because all the lesbians are upset. The lesbians love him, but what's his name? Anyway, so he loses the lesbian support, but then the dog is attacking black people. It's just so funny. I mean, it's just because there's no filter. He just, this is what it is. You're gonna, either you're offended. I don't care. And it's probably the last show of that kind of where you can get away with that, right? Because it is what it is. Then you start thinking, because he's making probably about $80 million a year on Seinfeld still to this day.
Probably. Yeah.
So anyway, I enjoy it. It's a very funny show.
Yeah, I mean, he makes Curb just because he wants to. Like, he doesn't have to make it. And that's why he can, skip 3 or 4 years or whatever, and then like, oh yeah, there's another season Curb coming out.
Yeah.
He just does it when he wants to.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And Miami Mike said, "Did you guys watch Sopranos movie? Maybe you should be here at the beginning, Mike."
Yeah, maybe Mike. Yeah.
So there.
We're on the same time zone, dude.
Yeah, Mike. It's almost like we're recording Sports Talk with 3 stupid guys, and you're at a concert.
Do I wish our fans were a little bit more, on time? Sure.
Give us a little something, for the effort.
Yeah.
Well,
I gave it 3 stars out of 4. Miami Mike. There you go.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna buy my
It
Dune
was trivia
tickets.
night. That's right.
You're gonna buy your what now?
My Dune tickets.
Okay.
Most of the Dune tickets are already up for advance. So definitely.
I did see because we went to Alamo Draft House and they had a poster of Dune. I'm like,
It looks fucking sick. I'm actually really looking forward to it.
It's gonna piss me off though if they're
gonna suck.
No,
if
no,
it's good. If it's good, it's just you're all of our material for
because they only
anti-Matt Dune jokes are gonna go out.
They've only made the first half of the book. That's what this movie is, and so it's one of those that if they only make the first half and they don't make the second half, then what the fuck, So that's what I mean. Like, it'd be different if they were already announced, like, oh yeah, we're already currently making the second half of the book. Then I'd be like, cool.
Is it wrong that I'm rooting? Is it wrong that I'm rooting for it to suck?
Yeah, it's wrong.
Why?
It's totally wrong.
Why?
Because I don't want it to suck. It's like
I know you don't want to
It's
suck.
like you rooting against the Chargers when there's fans out there that listen to this podcast and they're like, "Oh, I just wish Jack would care about the
Well,
Chargers."
I watched the Monday night, some of the Monday night game. It didn't seem like there were a lot of Charger fans there.
God, what idiot put the Chargers on Monday Night Football?
Against the Raiders.
God.
Oh.
And Charger fans like, it was like 50-50. All right, come on. Stop smoking crack. It wasn't 50-50. They got so lucky that Justin Herbert fell to them. God, fuck. But I'm not as angry anymore. I'm kind of letting go a little bit.
Sure you are. You're really good at letting it go.
That sentence should never come out of your mouth, Jack. You don't let anything go.
That's true. I am Larry David.
Very much so.
You know why I started watching Curb Your? Because I always complained about how people make fun of bald people, and they said you need to watch Curb Your Enthusiasm because that's what Larry David always talks about. And I go, okay, so that's we're like this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you should get him on the show.
Exactly. Just forget about Tom. Forget about Tom for a while.
Well, I can't. I got kicked off that Twitter account, so I can't communicate with Tom.
Yeah.
What's the odds of you follow me again? Probably.
I'm sure you could lure Tom with I don't know, sucking the souls of some young kids. Like, hey, I got some young kids here.
I don't think he's Catholic.
Oh, okay. That is so bad. I mean, your jokes. Mine were
literally like getting ready to dodge the lightning.
My problem is that I keep accidentally using the word nether regions as though that's a term I can just use to describe something. And every time I say nether region, let's say I'm helping someone draw, and I'm like, okay, so we're looking at the space here, and then the nether regions of this area, and I'm always like, fuck, and it's just a hallway. It's just a hallway drawing. It's not a figure drawing.
I have a strong belief that in my 41 years of living on this wonderful planet that we're destroying,
41.
Debatable.
I've never said that word out loud.
The region?
I've
not
never
once.
said it. No.
I was like, between the black and
land,
white,
but then I
regions.
said, okay, I'm not a kid. I can't be there.
I don't think I've ever uttered that word before.
Well,
can I ask you a question, Matt?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
About your shirt.
Oh, my
shirt.
shirt.
Does that have paint on or is it dandruff?
There is paint.
Oh,
on
there's
my shirt.
there's a little white.
All right.
This is actually my favorite painting shirt. So, and it's got.
Am I right? Because I kept thinking, I go, God, does he just have bad dandruff?
It does look like dandruff. That's some
And
big
call
flakes.
him out on that on the podcast of which he's producing.
Yeah. What if it was dandruff, Jack?
What if it was?
There's a ton of
Fire
paint.
me.
That's
Matt.
it. That's
Fire
your
actually
get
had
on free, Matt. I'm not going to stick up for you anymore than I just did. That was a old habits die hard.
Well, on that note, we're just going to close out this show.
Really?
There was a movie that came out in the 90s with
Kelly and Larry David guess so. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's. Did you guys ever just call it like My Fellow Americans with Jack Lemmon and
yeah.
I always liked it, but that's one it makes fun of even how every president picks a complete dumbass to be their vice president because it's like, yeah, I'm bad, but this guy's even worse. And
Dude,
one second.
I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, but that, just because it goes back to this, it's one of those things where because at this point Dan Aykroyd is the president, and he's sending the vice president to go on a meeting with the Netherlands, and he even says that he stops, it's like, please remind the vice president that he's only talking to the Netherlands, not the nether regions.
Hey, you said it. You said it.
Yeah, that's
congrats.
Yeah,
so that's where Matt got the saying.
Yeah,
the word.
You just reminded me of stupid vice presidents. Did you hear what came out in the reporting from the investigations that were made public? That during the whole January 6th thing or the events leading up to January 6th, Mike Pence actually reached out to Dan fucking Quayle for advice.
Yeah.
Of all vice presidents. Wow.
And Dan Quayle
to overturn the election. What do you think I should do? Did your president ever make you do that shit?
And Dan Quayle set him straight.
But your lifeline is Dan fucking Quayle.
I get that, but Dan Quayle was right.
That's
So-
okay,
so
I
we're saying-
get
right?
it, but
I'm
So we're
happy.
saying
I'm happy
the-
for I'm happy for that. But when you're down against all odds, it's pretty much
what
one
do
of
you
the most
expect for what do you? It's
incredible things could happen in
So
our
democracy
political
came
history.
down to a guy that
You
could misspell
fucking
potato.
called Dan Quayle.
Right. By the way, alleged
No,
cokehead.
he didn't. He did technically. He didn't
No,
spell tomato. Potato.
saying.
It was written wrong on his card.
It's one of those
I'm
things
just
like,
saying
do you
he
spell
did
with
some
an
of
E?
those
Do you not
Canadian
spell with an
names.
E? It's like, who cares?
Potato,
people-
tomato,
Yeah.
Indiana. It's all the same thing.
I mean, the fact that kind of thing can destroy your career over like putting on an E or not an E compared to the shit that goes on today.
Yeah, fair. He's still a fucking idiot, though. I mean, prove me wrong.
Let's face that's how bad Pence is. Quell was right. I don't know. Pence is just a. I don't know. I don't say.
So on that note,
I don't want to say he's.
Indiana's own.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Last
Matt.
flight.
No wonder Matt's trying to skip the rep through on through
no,
this.
I
kidding.
legit have like this horrible headache. I was trying to shake it before we recorded.
It could be a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
Thanks for. Is it a tumor or is it not a tumor? I don't know. But anyway, I've had this headache. Been trying
Well,
to
if
shake
it is
it
a
all
tumor,
night.
you'll have the same haircut as me.
Oh,
Oh,
Ooh,
dude.
that is really bad. It's horrible. It's really the
What?
worst joke you've ever said on this
Really,
show.
the worst.
Okay,
I'm
just
sorry.
behind
I've
that
been
Jay throws
I've
like
been
a
watching
girl.
too much Curb Your Enthusiasm. I apologize.
You're definitely raw. You're like Eddie Murphy raw.
That's when Eddie Murphy was funny.
So,
cocaine's a hell of a drug.
if you're like the fans that join us live, and who doesn't join us live,
But if you're going to join us live, join us on time.
Yeah, please do.
or
God damn it.
join us live and then download the podcast and listen to the parts that you missed, because we also appreciate the downloads. So thanks for everybody that joined us live for this show and for doing what you do. How do we end the show? Sorry, you
You got to do the.
We actually have some specific folks that we want to thank because they are our.
Oh yes. And by the way, send in your emails too.
Did we not get an email?
rcadcast@gmail.com. Nope.
Is
no
Randy still
emails.
floating down the river?
We did have
He
a Randy. Let me see here. I think did I read all the rest of Randy's, or did I have one more?
It's not been 2 weeks. I thought he was only gone for 3 weeks.
He left a bunch of jokes. Did I read this one? I went to the doctor and he told me my DNA was backwards. I said, and?
yeah.
Do you know why cows have hooves instead of feet?
No, we got this one. I thought. No, go
Oh,
ahead.
okay.
Finish.
Helps
Maybe
them-
we did.
does it help them move? I don't know.
No, it's because they lack toes.
Yeah, we got that. Yeah. Yeah, we didn't get the first one.
Okay, that's it. That's the end of the Randy jokes. Who knows if we'll
Well,
ever
hopefully
see
he'll
him
be
again.
back next week.
I know, because I'm flailing here with this migraine. But anyway,
migraines
thanks
are
for
the
everybody
worst.
that makes this show possible. Go over to jayandjack.com. Help us out. Click on the Patron link. Rate and review this show, because why would you? Also, follow us on YouTube. We have a YouTube page, Ramblecast After Dark. We're almost at 100 subscribers.
Really?
Subscribers.
Really?
Yeah, maybe we're about 20 away, but we would appreciate if you subscribe to us.
10.
I was rounding up.
We're closer to 100 than we are 0.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, Chris. All right. This week's I did not do dolphin themed as I had wanted to, because, well, let's face it, I'm just
Who's the
slacking
woman
this
riding the dolphin?
I don't know. I found it on free image. Just Google search dolphin or woman riding dolphin.
safe tuna.
First, if you Google woman riding dolphin, you're gonna get lamp. Because apparently,
I got it, Chris.
That's more. All right, you guys have your jokes. Okay. Like to thank these patrons that make this show possible. See if you can find the theme this week. So,
Tornado attack.
Thanks. I have them out of order here, so here we go.
Earthquake. Eckhart.
I just really had too much fun drawing this one.
Jack, I love you. Appreciated that joke.
Got it right away.
And the fire carrier.
And Ed was in the chat.
Yeah. I was really working on that one.
Sorry. Maelstrom Maggie.
There's little lightning bolts coming off of the storm on that one.
Nice.
I didn't see it.
Well, this gives away the whole thing though. So I couldn't come up
Joanne with a disaster plan.
Oh. I like
Thank
that.
you for doing what you do.
Yes.
I like that.
And
That was good.
Thanks for joining me on this adventure.
Just Matt.
Just Matt.
Just me. Because I'm really sorry. I have this severe headache. I usually don't want to
Not a
text you
tumor.
guys, an hour before we're about to record. I leave that to Chris.
What happens when dolphin safe tuna meets dolphin nut pulp? I like it.
It's a new
More
shirt.
paper.
You can tune a dolphin, but you can't tune a
Fish.
Oh, worst album cover ever.
Is that REO Speedwagon?
Yeah.
But this was a great show.
Shark
One
sandwich.
and a million. 1 and a million or 1 in a million?
Definitely in.
Okay.
To 1,000,001.
True.
That's it. Just wrap
Is
it up.
it? Is it?
Good
Are
night.
we done?